Good morning. It's Winging It Buffalo Style. I'm Diana Fairbanks.
I'm Amelia Siegel.
And I'm your CW star, Matt Snyder.
Well, on happy day after the big game, I tell you what, a lot of folks talking about that today. We're going to have more on that coming up. Also today, we're going to be in the kitchen with Chef Marco.
And also, we're going to break down all the commercials. We have our paneled ad experts back in. They're going to tell us what they liked, what they didn't like, kind of everything you need to know.
Great win for the Ravens last night. Everyone talking about that. You know, some really feel-good stories coming out of it. But do you have to wonder if what's really overshadowing, and I don't mean shadow in a pun sense there, but seriously, the power outage last night.
I know.
35 minutes. They lost power. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. The game came to a stop, stayed that way for more than a half an hour. Lights went out in like half the stadium. Even the broadcasters' mics went out. So former Buffalo Bill and current CBS sideline reporter Steve Tasker was the first one to even tell America what the heck's going on.
Half the power in New Orleans Stadium, the Superdome here, is out.
It is what it is. I'm having a great time.
And Kaepernick.
Yeah, you got to have a great time. Well, as soon as the power was back on, the game restarted. And now they're trying to figure out what happened. But the company that supplies the power to the Superdome says that the electricity was flowing to the stadium when the lights went out. So basically they're saying it's not their fault. So that's what the power company is saying. What do you think?
You know, I think you plan so much for any kind of large event like this, and then to have something like that. I think the thing about it is it was 35
That's an
minutes.
Eternity. An eternity.
Imagine being an athlete. You're pumped up. Your adrenaline's going. You're powering through the game, and then all of a sudden, I guess we'll stretch for 35 minutes now.
And also, as far as commercial breaks and everything else goes, I mean, they're so planned out. The commercials, ad space, so expensive. So then, you're relying on the broadcasters to fill in. They're also not prepared to probably fill for 35 minutes. That's a very long time. Of course, you can analyze the game. You can bring up old statistics, but it takes a while to get that sort of video, have that knowledge off of the top of your head. So really a test, I guess, to see how well they can ad-lib, think on their feet. I was out and I came home at halftime, and getting ready to go to bed, I kind of heard from across the room that something was going on. And, you know, people were saying, I can't believe the lights are out.
I know that I would not want to be in any of those control panels, those rooms.
That's the last thing you would think of to happen, too, out of everything.
No kidding. We'll have to see who's actually to blame for this, but I'm sure more investigating will come back to it. Of course, a lot of folks talking about the Super Bowl halftime show as well. Beyonce took the stage. Did she steal the show in her own way? We have a little bit of video here. What do you think? You know, a lot of folks worried, you know, I don't know, was she going to pull an inauguration and do the lip-syncing in? But overall, I think there's, you know, honestly, I got to tell you, I think there's mixed reviews. I was checking out Facebook this morning, and people were, you know, some people really liked it, some people didn't. I thought it was a good show. What'd you think?
I didn't really like it. I mean, I love seeing Destiny's Child again. You know, big fan of them. So seeing them all together was wonderful, but something about it didn't translate for me, and I'm still trying to put my finger on exactly what I didn't like about it.
I thought it was a good performance. I think it's kind of interesting every year with the Super Bowl. I think everybody always has something bad to say about the halftime show. I don't think you're ever going to get at least 50% of people to say they like the halftime show for some reason. It's just always criticized. Nothing is ever good enough. I think the fact that she sang by herself, I mean, you saw a lot of things on stage you've never seen before, kind of the holograms coming out.
That was cool. I like that part.
I mean, I've never seen that before. I thought it was really neat to see. And she did, you know, she didn't ad-lib. I thought it was a great show.
I do think, though, that people have a seed of doubt planted after hearing that she lip-sync. I think that she's coming back from that, and I think she has a little bit of
a little tarnish,
something to prove to me. And I want Beyonce, if you're watching, please prove it to me.
Totally not.
You never know, right?
My favorite part, though, is when the girls from Destiny's Child popped up out of the stage, and they were like, oh my God, what am I doing here? So we should really incorporate that into Wake Up somehow. Just have like spring-loaded platforms, just pop us right up there.
Give me a hammer, I will work on it.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to check in with Ralphie Aversa a little bit, a pop culture guru. He's going to let us know what he thought of Beyonce's performance a little bit later in our broadcast this morning. You know, we do want to mention the other two divas that took the stage also. Jennifer Hudson and Alicia Keys. They both did a great job. Jennifer Hudson appeared with the Sandy Hook Elementary Choir. Were you not crying? I was crying. All of the players were crying. Those Sandy Hook students. I mean, oh, it was so moving for me. America the Beautiful. Alicia Keys on her piano sang a very powerful and very long version of the national anthem. The official runtime was well over 2 minutes 30 seconds. Get this, a full minute longer than Kelly Clarkson last year. Really? You didn't care for it, man.
I thought she sounded beautiful.
Yes,
I love
lovely.
that she's a musician, so she could play the piano, but it was really long.
And that's a tough sell on everything. He just doesn't like anything. sleeping. It's not good enough for Matt.
It was just so long. And you kind of got into, you're like, she's pretty, it sounds beautiful, you know, she looks very elegant, but then you're like, and it's still going.
I think people were anticipating that she was going to sing the national anthem a little bit longer. There were certain things out there that were saying, you know, most likely it's going to be around that 2-minute, 30-second mark. Yeah.
And you have to think of these performers. I mean, everyone's saying the national anthem. Everyone has their own little twist on it, so you have to find a way to make it your own, but still honor the tradition of it. And I do like that she did that.
It was lovely. It was lovely. And she can play her own piano. She can make it as long as she wants. So she's got more skill than I do.